one of the many exciting things about joining Live was being able to come here and play in front of a Spanish crowd, especially on a level of event and level of competition that I hadn't really yet enjoyed, right? I've been able to play events in Spain.
We are in the beautiful Valderrama, which some say is the European Augusta. It's so special. There's so much history here. There's so much Spanish history here.
Well, it has so much history behind. It's only a 50 years old club, but it's so much has happened through the years. I mean, we had the Ryder Cup, we had World Gold Championships, and now we have Live.
1, 2, 3, 2, 1.
I feel like when there's this wind at this golf course is so difficult that it's equally stressful no matter when or where you're playing it. But it was fun. It's always fun to be back home and be with the home crowd. It's always a joy to have this many people supporting me all day. It's so much fun.
OMG, what did we just witness? Our first ever double playoff in Live Golf history. I am so pumped up right now.
So much happened on the last 5 minutes. I mean, it looked like it was going to the crushers and Annie Barton winning, and all of a sudden then Abraham holding a chip, David Puig birdie eight, then that little putt from Annie Barton on the last. I mean, it was great watching.
You know, it's really amazing to be able to do it in your home country, in front of my family, in front of so many friends, and on my favorite golf course. So it's obviously super nice.
All right, we're talking about the Olympics, and I know Julio will love this. This is right in his wheelhouse. He likes to bet obscure stuff, and I think you saw my tweet earlier in the week about Xiong Lim, women's archery. All right, so she's 21 years old, 21, 22. I think she just turned 22. And she's a young girl, South Korean. Yeah, she's dominant. Like, she's won 4 of the last 6 world major events, and the 2 that she didn't win, she didn't really care to win type of deal. So like I said, like, she's by far the number 1 player in the world right now, and she's got ice in her veins. Like, I was reading about, like, the team play and stuff, and, like, she saved them in the Asia Championship and the Asia Cup, and she's a badass. And this is sort of like women's tennis, guys, or excuse me, women's golf. It's an Asian sport, man. Like, if you look at if you look at like women's archery, Lim, Yang Zhang Li, Xiong Nam, Hung Ji Ling, Li Jin. Like, I apologize for butchering the names, but they're all, it's, you know, China, South Korea, like they're big rivals. But all you need to know, guys, here, Xiong Lim, I got her at like plus 200 on an odds boost the other day. And some people were like, oh, man, this book has it at plus 230, and these guys got it. Should I bet it? I'm like, oh, it's a great number. I'm looking right now, plus 150 she's down to. Odds boost plus 162 right now, guys. She's going to win. Like, all you need to know is look at the second choice. Like, she's plus 162 right now. The second choice to win, Julio, is 10-1, bro. Like, she's gonna win, and this, I bring this up, guys, because this actually goes off the book at 3:30 Eastern time tonight. So if you guys want to bet it, bet it. I've already bet it, but I'm gonna load up on it again. This is gonna be my bailout special, Cam. I'm hoping for the South Korean 21-year-old to save my ass. Win me a dime, girl. Let's go. Go shoot that. Go shoot that. Go shoot those balls.
Good point, Gabe, because on the PGA Tour this week, I think there's like 5 or 6 Kims playing. Like, you can't do this stuff drunk. Like, you got to actually know that's Chan Kim and this Kim, and like that's the whole thing. On the ladies' tour, there's so many. They have numbers. Lee 6, like you know what I mean? Because they all have the same last names and whatever, so they have a number beside the player for you to determine the betting, which is absolutely insane. So, yeah, if you're doing some late-night gambling, be careful which buttons you click. It's not that simple. Just a tip.
And, no, I make mistakes all the time, trust me.
Yeah, and it's tough.
The swimming starts on Saturday. Saturday is like boomtown city. Saturday, there's stuff all day. All the events are going to start. So we talked about USA Serbia, Julio. We'll get to the basketball in a minute, actually. We'll keep you for the AM radio affiliate segment, and we'll get you out of here. We'll open up with the basketball. Checking in here right now at the men track and field. I talked about this one before, but this isn't until next weekend. But Kashane Thompson, who I'm on, guys, the Jamaican runner, another young runner, 22 years old. The Olympics are a young person's game, man. So 22 years old, Keyshawn Thompson just ran a 9.77 at the Jamaican Championships, which is the fastest time that any man has run since 2022. And I expect him to Noah Lyles is the second choice. But the fact that they're trying to bait me in with a bunch of boosts with Noah Lyles, makes me know he's not going to win. Like, it's one of those, I read between it. I'm like, nah, you guys, it's a trap. Noah Lyles is going to win the men's 200, but not the 100. Let's roll. Level 3 has begun. The pimps, the players, the hustlers, and the people that bust them, and everybody else in between. We're rolling. Dodger Stadium, rocking right now. As well, but the Dodgers are losing the game to the San Francisco Giants. We'll keep our eye on this. Ian Cameron's going to step up and in. We're going to have a bunch of golf picks for you. It's the calm before the storm. The Olympics have started, and it's been total chaos already. We'll get to that later. But the Olympic golf is next week. This week we got the 3M Open. There's some live golf in London. The Canadian Women's Open Championship is this weekend. But, of course, the Olympics have begun. Big Card Julio in the house. With us. Follow him on Twitter at JN Reports. And he's betting all kinds of obscure Olympic stuff. But as far as the mainstream stuff, Julio, USA basketball open up Sunday morning. They are 14.5-point favorites against Jokic and the Serbs. Are you going to be laying or taking the points in this basketball game?
It's going to be intriguing to see if Kevin Durant's going to play. I know he was not pleased with ESPN reporting that Steve Kerr was sort of easing him back into the practice. I'm going to take the points. Give me Serbia. I think Jokic and the boys have a sour taste in their mouth after that embarrassment in the second half and that exhibition last week. Give me Serbia. They're 8-1 on the money line. They're also 8-1 to win the group. So if you like Serbia to maybe upset to win the group, you might want to take them at either price, 8-1 on the money line to beat USA or to win the group.
One thing, guys, I kind of agree, Cam, and I like the Serbs. And I know this is dangerous getting in front of this U.S. team, but is it? We've seen them battle in a lot of these games. And I think people are looking, like you said, Julio, about the exhibition game. Dude, we all know Jokic barely cares about real games. And all kidding aside, but Jokic doesn't try unless it matters. Mm-hmm. Like, he's not going to, he is you know what I mean? He's like an all fun dude. And you saw Julio, I saw him too, dude. They were down and stuff. They were joking on the bench, and he really didn't care. It's going to be a different mindset right now. But the U.S. are going to be in a different mindset, trying to dial it up a notch. But, it's just too many points, man, to give against a world-class team like Serbia, who are definitely medal contenders. Canada, other medal contenders, Julio, 7.5-point favorites right now in their first game against Giannis and the Greeks. What do you think of that one?
Yeah, I've been going back and forth with this particular game. Everyone's focusing in on Giannis on Greece. But look out for a guy named Thomas Walkup. You D-Gens may remember Thomas Walkup from Stephen F. Austin. Brad Underwood, Stephen F. Austin Lumberjacks. I went to the NCAA tournament. I covered him at Windy City. He's been playing in Europe in the Euro League for the last 3-4 years. He's a really good European player. I like the number 7.5. I think the Canadians win. I just think it's a close game.
All right, guys, they have stage of elimination. And we'll get back to the basketball, but Julio's just with us for a couple of more moments. So basically, podium, stage of elimination. They don't I wish they just would put gold medal, silver medal, bronze medal. I don't know why they don't. Like, you got to always get, tricky with it. But they name it stage of elimination. So, group stage, quarterfinal, semifinal. I guess they're probably they're scared of getting sued or something. Putting gold medal. I don't know.
Probably.
But so they got to word it differently. But like, who do you think, let's say USA makes it to the gold medal game, Julio. Who are they playing against? Who's going to, like, win gold, silver, and bronze, in your opinion, in basketball? In what order?
Ooh, that's a great question. And gosh. I don't want to go chalk with Team USA, but let's go Team USA, France, Canada.
So Team USA beats France in the gold medal game, and Canada wins bronze, you say. That's what our boy Mo Khan said. I think he said Serbia makes it back, but he believed too. He was like, Canada will win bronze. They won't win silver, but they'll make it to the semifinals, lose, and then win the bronze medal game. Canada haven't gotten a medal in basketball, men's basketball, since 1936. It's the only time they ever did. So making the podium would be a big deal. But this Canadian roster and the players, they feel like they should, like, it's gold medal game or bust. I think they want to win. If they lose in the championship game, in the gold medal game, fine. But I think they can do it, guys. I think Canada to win the silver medal, stage of elimination, it's called runner-up on the book, is 5-1, plus 500. Canada wins silver medal. I think they can. JN reports. Great stuff, Julio.
Thank you, guys. Have a good weekend.
Great information on the Stephen F. Austin. Holy.
One of the many exciting things about joining Live was being able to come here and play in front of a Spanish crowd, especially on a level of event and level of competition that I hadn't really yet enjoyed, right? I've been able to play events in Spain.
Here in the beautiful Valderrama, which some say is the European Augusta, it's so special. There's so much history here. There's so much Spanish history here.
Well, it has so much history behind. It's only a 50-year-old club, but so much has happened through the years. I mean, we had the Ryder Cup, we had World Gold Championships, and now we have Live.
1, 2, 3, 2, 1.
I feel like when there's this wind in this golf course is so difficult that it's equally stressful no matter when or where you're playing it. But it was fun. It's always fun to be back home and be with the home crowd. It's always a joy to have this many people supporting me all day. It's so much fun.
OMG, what did we just witness? Our first ever double playoff in Live Golf history. I am so pumped up right now.
So much happened on the last 5 minutes. I mean, it looked like it was going to the crushers and Anibal winning, and all of a sudden then Abraham holding a chip, David Puig birdie, then that little putt from Anibal on the last. I mean, it was great watching.
You know, it's really amazing to be able to do it in your home country, in front of my family, in front of so many friends, and on my favorite golf course. So it's obviously super nice.
This is SportsRage. I am Gabriel Morency. The San Francisco Giants looking to beat the Dodgers. Dodgers haven't lost since the All-Star break post-All-Star break restarted. The Dodgers came into tonight 8-3 on the year against San Francisco, but the Giants are up 2-1 right now, end of 7. Dodgers are plus 215 on the money line, which is pretty attractive as far for betting purposes. Giants are minus 300. In-game total is 4.5. We've been talking a lot of Olympic action tonight. We've got golf action. Ian Cameron, a.k.a. Babano, will step up and in and join us and see. We'll find out who Babano's golf guy. His insider likes Cam here, but interesting tournament here. A lot of the big names are preparing to go to France, right? The Scotty Schefflers, the Xander Schauffele's of the world, but still an interesting field here this week at the 3M Open, highlighted by Tony Finau. And Tony Finau is going to be in the mix, obviously, but 11-1 right now isn't a great price. But I'm going to be honest with you too. The other co-favorite, that's the thing. Anytime you like a guy or I like a guy, you think, oh, you know what, I'm going to like this guy. The algorithm likes him as well. Sam Burns is another golfer I know a lot of people like this week, but he's the second choice. Big drop off in odds. But what do you think about Finau at the 11-1 range right now?
I'm going to be honest with you, Gabe. Like those guys that came over from Scotland, I think like maybe a couple of them could do okay, but like the Billy Horschel stuff, the guy was in the mix to win the Open Championship. Now he's playing at the 3M.
I wouldn't want any of them either that were Scotland.
I don't know how much gas these guys have left. And Burns made a run and he gagged on, like he had a bad Sunday. He was right there too. And I'm looking at like certain guys you could take who missed the cut. So like Tagala is one of those guys that he was there, but he's a little more rested because he didn't play the weekend. But I'm telling you, it's like these guys, like we talk about, like Luke Clanton and all these. This is a tournament for some guy who's young to make a move, or a guy like who's very well rested. That's why I like Hoagie at 33. I think he fits the bill. He's a guy who drives the golf ball straight. And, Brady's on him too, Gabe. I'm trying to avoid these guys that went to the Open Championship. I don't want any part of them, especially as chalk. That's the thing. And their numbers are there. So if they beat me, they beat me. But I think this like 30 to like 60 to range is going to be very, very enticing. And I really like the Eric Von Ruin story this week. It seems like a lot are on him, but I just really believe in him, especially coming out of the gate for a first-round leader play at 50-1.
I like where you're going with that. So Ian Cameron, a.k.a. Babano, steps up in it and joins us. San Francisco winning 2-1 right now. Shout out to everyone joining us on the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio. SoCal in the house. The Friars rack up another W. They're hot right now. San Diego are hot. 12-3 win against Washington. And we were just talking golf, Babano, but I'll bring this up too because the Olympics are next week. And Brady Cannon was with us earlier. And I got to tell you, Cam, if there's one guy, like I said, Paris can be distracting. The Olympics can be distracting. Paris itself, the golfers aren't in the village. You know what I mean? But if there's a golfer that's so evenly keeled and robotic, it's Xander Schauffele. I mean, the guy really is. He hasn't won before, but he's not an emotional guy. He's very un-Californian-like, actually. Like, if you look at him and stuff. Like, you wouldn't think, you know what I mean? San Diego State Aztec. But he's systematic, and he's hot as hell in the way that he's playing. And he's the defending gold medal champion. Like I said, he wins this gold medal, that elevates him into legend status. Back-to-back gold medals, two majors. It's so big. I think people are sleeping on him a little bit. I'm going to talk about it a lot next week, but I know it's plus 600 only. Babano, you're nodding your head, but plus 600 is not bad odds, bro. It's a shorter field, too. It's an elite field, but it's a shorter field. And it's no cut in the Olympics. Let me throw that out there, too, guys.
The thing about Schauffele, too, is his old man's a real wild man, and he's the quiet side. He has a very interesting family situation. You said it's San Diego State Aztec. He's not a party animal. He hangs out with Patrick Cantlay. You think those guys are drinking whiskey out of trophies? No, they're going to the beach. Patrick Cantlay is probably reading a book, for God's sakes. Anyway, I don't expect this guy to go on a tour like Shane Lowry and hit the Jameson factory and the Guinness factory and go bananas for a couple weeks there, or like Ovechkin did when he won the Cup. I'm with you, Morency. The numbers there, we'll see. The question is, he has got a lot more media. He has a lot more to deal with. But other than that, him and Schauffele and Scheffler, both even-keeled. And that's the thing. But as we talked about, there could be a raucous French crowd. The way things are going at the Olympics right now, very pro-European. And when the Europeans played the Ryder Cup there, they kicked the USA's ass on this same course. So we will see what happens. But I love the way Xander Schauffele's playing.
Ian Cameron, Babano. How you doing, Babano?
Hey, Babano.
I'm doing good. Yeah, I was the Olympic golf next week. I'm already looking at, there's a couple. Tom Kim at 30-1. I'm interested. I think that's a good price for a golfer of his caliber in that Olympic tournament. He's definitely someone that stuck out. Thomas Dietrich as well at 50-1. My golf guys actually already sent out Dietrich for the Olympic men's tournament at that price, 50 to 1. So, or it's not too early to start looking ahead to that. Even though we've got Live Golf, we've got
kind
the
of like the
Pre-Am
soccer
Open
team, though, Babano. I've learned, don't bet on the Belgians. They'll always let you down.
You should stay away from Belgian golfers.
Yeah, exactly. Belgian soccer, Dietrich game, he's one of those guys, he's there, but
Cam
he's not
eats Belgian
there,
waffles, but doesn't bet Belgian golfers.
That's right. That's right. I've had Dietrich many times on Sunday going, why'd I bet this guy when he shoots a 78 with a 4-shot lead? But
you talk about the Swedes, too. They're in the Olympics.
I
love
like Eric Van Rooyen, for instance.
Yeah, we're going to get that. But I was saying the Noren in the Olympics is somewhat intriguing, too, I think. I could see him being around. Brady Cannon was with us earlier. And so was Jeff Feinberg. Feinberg was talking about Corey Connors at the Olympics, just sort of somebody's longer shots. And don't forget, you got Rory in the mix as well. So Major League Baseball, 2-1 San Francisco. And the bases are loaded right now, so the Giants have an opportunity to bust this game open. Mike Yastrzemski coming up. Baltimore Orioles keep losing guys. They've just lost 8 of their last 11 games. The Orioles, everyone's talking about the Yankees losing all the time, but Baltimore losing. We'll get into some football. We talked a little Charger football earlier. Our boy Feinberg is a diehard fan. Their win total up to 9.5 at some spots, which is a little bit ambitious.
It is.
One of the many exciting things about joining Live was being able to come here and play in front of a Spanish crowd, especially on a level of event and level of competition that I hadn't really yet enjoyed, right? I've been able to play events in Spain.
Here in the beautiful Valderrama, which some say is the European Augusta. It's so special. There's so much history here. There's so much Spanish history here.
Well, it has so much history behind. It's only a 50-years-old club, but so much has happened through the years. I mean, we had the Ryder Cup, we had World Gold Championships, and now we have Live.
1, 2, 3, 2, 1.
I feel like when there's this wind in this golf course is so difficult that it's equally stressful no matter when or where you're playing it. But it was fun. It's always fun to be back home and be with the home crowd. It's always a joy to have this many people supporting me all day. It's so much fun.
OMG, what did we just witness? Our first ever double playoff in Live Golf history. I am so pumped up right now.
So much happened on the last 5 minutes. I mean, it looked like it was going to the crushers and anybody winning, and all of a sudden then Abraham holding a chip, David Puig birdie, then that little putt from Anivan on the last. I mean, it was great watching.
You know, it's really amazing to be able to do it in your home country, in front of my family, in front of so many friends, and on my favorite golf course. So it's obviously super nice.
Let's roll. This is SportsRage. I'm Gabriel Morency. San Francisco now up 3-1. They still have the bases loaded, so it looks like things are looking good for the Giants right now. 3-1, bases loaded for the Giants. Nobody out, looking to really break this game open tonight at Chavez Ravine. We had craziness at the start of the Olympics today. Nobody predicted that fans would storm the pitch during the Argentina-Morocco game. The Moroccan fans were unhappy. It was a wild scene to start the Olympics this morning. Like, was like one of those, what do you mean? It was delayed for an hour and a half. They added 17 minutes of extra time. Argentina scored in the 16th minute to tie the game. Morocco was like livid about the added extra time. The fans came on the pitch, started throwing stuff and firecrackers and bottles and stuff at the Argentinian players. But there was still technically time left in the game. There was 3 minutes left in the game. So they sent the players to the room. They kicked the fans out of the stadium. And then when the players came back, they told them, oh, by the way, the goal was offside. It didn't count.
That's the best. I love it.
Which could have saved them a riot, Cam, to begin with, if they just wouldn't have made the call. Like, if you would have done that, like, if you would have just gotten it right to begin with, they wouldn't have stormed the field. Like, you know what I mean? The whole thing was just like, what? Yeah, and then you find out after, too, that Argentina got robbed of their personal belongings from the practice facility earlier in the week, and their national anthem got booed. They got attacked. I don't think the Argentina men's soccer team is going to be in this tournament long. Like, I don't think it's going to be like, oh, let's show the world type thing. I think, no, we're just sort of going to get bounced, and let's get the hell out of here.
Let's get
but,
out, yeah.
The Olympics have begun. I wanted to get some football talk, obviously, but let's get to some golf picks. I wanted to get to our boy Ghoster, who's in the house, who sent his picks in. But what do you have for us, Babano, for the 3M Open?
3M Open, Minnesota. We've got Ben Griffin, 55-1. Cam Davis, 35-1.
You're tired, eh, Babano? Normally you'd have some sort of jingle, cheap joke or something. You had nothing. 3M Open. Hey, look at him. Look at he's worn out. Look at him. Right. Look.
I know.
Well, we got a lot, too. It's actually a bigger card for the golf guy this week with this. Griffin, 55. Davis, 35. Jake Knapp, 35. No, Jake Knapp is 65-1. 80. Oh, he didn't even get the best price on that. Hadwin 45-1. Grillo, Emiliano Grillo 50-1. Lee Hodges 70-1. Scott Piercy 200-1. So a bigger shot there on that. Oh, and Eckroat 60 and Torbjornsson at 80-1.
See, Cam Eckroat's name keeps coming up. I brought him up. I brought him up earlier.
You got to bet him out, Dave. You got to bet the Eckroat, man. Like, this guy, I think he's going to do well this week, but everybody's on him, which is kind of scary. And Michael Bjornsson went to Stanford, same school, Nota Begay, Tiger Woods. This guy's the real deal. Since he's gone on the PGA Tour game, all he's done is made money. We said one of these young guys can win. He's dangerous.
All right, so what are your picks, Cam, for the 3M Open?
I'll get through them nice and that was the best. 3M, Minnesota. I'm going to go with a hoagie sandwich at 32-1. I'm going to take Tom Hoagie. I know I told you about the University of Minnesota Golden Gopher, Eric Von Royen, at 40-1. I think he's going to play really well in his alma mater, state cheering for him. Mac Meisner. People are like, who the hell's Mac Meisner? Well, I'll tell you, he's got top 20 in his last 3 or 4 events with a nice 16th in there. This guy's playing great golf. I got him at 55-1. Gabe, you mentioned Eckroat. I have him at 60. The Filipino sensation, Rico Hoey. You want numbers? I'll back him up. Hoey, right now, a 2nd, a 6th, and 8th in 3 of his last 4 events. 2nd, 6th, 8th. You want to talk about a guy that's hot? Give me Hoey at 66-1. And Babano, Gabe, you know he's beat down. He needs an afternoon nap, maybe an evening nap with Jake at 80-1. Jake Knapp, top 10s for all you friends out there. I got Ash K. Batea. Some people like Finau. I'm going to take this guy for a top 10 at plus 260. In the top 20, Gabe, right up your wheelhouse. 2 Canucks for you. Top 20, 2 Canadians. We got Pendrith at plus 190 and Adam Hadwin at plus 225 for a top 20. That's a really nice price. Top 40, we got Novak at plus 130. Riders on the storm, Jim Morrison style with Sam Ryder, plus 145. And get it done. Get it shipped. We got Shipley, plus 150. Watch it. Look at Shipley, Gabe. Isn't that my type of guy? Let's go for a couple cold ones with Shipley. He's a big boy. He also has a big game. First round leaders, Batea always comes out hot on Thursdays, 33-1. The Postman delivers at 45. Hoagie Sandwich, 45-1. EVR, Eric Von Royen, 50. Kurt Kitayama at 60. And Novak, 80. First round leaders. Let's rock.
All right, we'll hit some football on the other side. This is Sports Rage. Bring it.
one of the many exciting things about joining Live was being able to come here and play in front of a Spanish crowd, especially on a level of event and level of competition that I hadn't really yet enjoyed, right? I've been able to play events in Spain.
Here in the beautiful Valderrama, which some say is the European Augusta, it's so special. There's so much history here. There's so much Spanish history here.
Well, it has so much history behind. It's only a 50 years old club, but so much has happened through the years. I mean, we had the Ryder Cup, we had World Gold Championships, and now we have Live.
1, 2, 3, 2, 1.
I feel like when there's this windy, this golf course is so difficult that it's equally stressful no matter when or where you're playing it. But it was fun. It's always fun to be back home and be with the home crowd. It's always a joy to have this many people supporting me all day. It's so much fun.
OMG, what did we just witness? Our first ever double playoff in Live Golf history. I am so pumped up right now.
So much happened on the last 5 minutes. I mean, it looked like it was going to the crushers and Annie Barton winning, and all of a sudden then Abraham holding a chip, David Puig birdie, then that little putt from Annie Barton on the last. I mean, it was great watching.
You know, it's really amazing to be able to do it in your home country, in front of my family, in front of so many friends, and on my favorite golf course. So it's obviously super nice.
This is SportsRage. I'm Morency. We were talking earlier about the Chargers win total, and it was 8.5. That's been the consensus number throughout the summer. And it's been a little pricey, minus 135, minus 140, minus 150, and it kept on sort of creeping up. And it surprised us to see at some spots 9.5 now, albeit at like plus 170. And that's a little ambitious. You know what I mean? 17-game schedule now. 9-8 gets us there. We go over 8.5. I do think Harbaugh is going to have a massive positive impact on this football team. I think they were a hell of a lot better than the record was last year. But at the same point in time, are they going to win 10 games? Are they going to win 11 games? That's asking a lot with this roster that they have. But Babano, what do you think about the Chargers? Are you willing to go over 8.5 with the Chargers, or do you like that plus money over 9.5 that they're a 10-17, which isn't out of the question? That's not a crazy record for them to have, 10-7.
Yeah, so my original bet, because we talked to Chargers a few weeks ago, I really like them to be improved, and I like them to take advantage of a very easier than average schedule that they have this year. I like them over 8.5. It's the number I bet at minus 150. I would say, though, take a shot at the over 9.5, because I think 10-7 is possible, you know, for this football team. They have a chance to get off to a phenomenal start. You look at that opening salvo there, Raiders, Panthers, Steelers. You know, it's set up very nicely there for the Chargers to get out to a good start. And don't forget, in Jim Harbaugh's first
little
year
disrespect for the Steelers there. Little disrespect for the Steelers. That's a tough spot going to Pittsburgh. Let's be real.
Carolina Panthers.
I'm sorry about that. Yeah. No, I was about to. Sorry, Cam. But Babano talked about their schedule. Number one, they get the Raiders and the Broncos twice. Now, Raiders-Chargers always a battle. It always will be. It always has been. But still, like, they're better than the Raiders. They should be. We know they're better than the Broncos. Let's say they go 3-1 there. You know what I mean? They got to go 3-1 there out of those 4 games. The Chargers have always competed with the Chiefs. Let's be real. Even with Staley, they competed, right? So I think they're just sort of there. But good call, Babano. Look at that. And sorry, Cam, but you get the Carolina Panthers mixed in here too. Nice way to start the season. Raiders, Panthers get 2 wins under the belt.
Well, you know what? Those are 2 of my win totals to the over, Dave. Carolina and the Chargers. So someone's going to win. The
Saints blow. Everybody hates the Saints this year. You guys know neither of you like the Saints this year. Look, they play the Saints too, Cam.
Yeah,
and then they get the Buccaneers in that division, the Panthers. You know what, Babano? I'm with you. I'd rather, you know what, put it this way. When you know this, and anyone knows this, if you're putting $1,000, like, I'm betting a future or something, I'm betting $1,000, let's say, or whatever, $11.50 to win 1,000. You don't want to start laying minus money when the book is holding your money for 6 months. Unless it's like I did it with Liberty, guys. I'm like, all right, listen, Liberty are going to win 11 games this year. I'll live with it. But, when you're getting plus money, Babano, it's a little bit different. Hey, plus 170, a little bit more intriguing, actually, than laying minus 150 for an over 8.5.
Yeah, for what I would do now is probably put a little more of your percentage of the bet on the 8.5 and put a smaller on 9.5. And I still think there's a chance you cash both of those. I really do. Because I think 10-7 is possible with the Chargers. Let's not forget, Harbaugh had great success immediately with the Niners when he took over there with Kaepernick, over a decade ago. He didn't need that first year to build it up. He was able to get them playing well. And I can't stress this enough. Just the difference in coaching upgrade. Does Harbaugh have his flaws? Yeah. But, I mean, you compare him to Anthony Lynn and Brandon Staley, the last two coaches of this Chargers team, it's not even close. It's a huge upgrade at the head coaching spot.
Harbaugh's perfect. No flaws. I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry. Go on.
Mandelbaum. But Jeff was saying it, Gabe, is like that's the whole thing. He doesn't have to worry about the little things. And that was the problem with the Chargers, cleaning up all the little stupid mistakes with these coaches, the bad decisions, special teams, blunders, all sorts of stuff that's been going on for years. Harbaugh, this guy is like an army drill sergeant.
Well, it's accountability.
Yes, exactly.
The thing with Staley is, and you see this with coaches, when the players know that the coach is on the hot seat or the coach is a little rocky, that's when the penalties start because they know. It's like, what's the coach going to do? Nothing. Like, this guy's got his own problems after the game. He's not going to come after us. He's got his own issues to deal with. Harbaugh, you know what? You could jump offside a couple of times. You're going to be on the bench. Like, that's the way. Like, he's very next man up type. Like, he'll have your back. Right, like unless you're Cade McNamara, then he threw into the bus for JJ McCarthy, and he won a championship. So Harbaugh had the thing. That's the thing with quarterbacks. He had Alex Smith, and he was like, you know what, I'm going with Kaepernick. And like you said, Babano, he like a bat out of hell. He went to the Super Bowl with him. Right, it was like I went to the Super Bowl with this guy.
Speaking of Cade McNamara, Gabe, Iowa and their coaching staff leading into the season, they're talking about Cade McNamara being healthy, like he's going to be the second coming of Drew Tate. For that football program. I need to see it first from Cade McNamara because before he got injured last year, he was bad. He was just not very good. So I got to see it with him.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? How much?
Gabe, I was just saying, when Harbaugh played too, remember the intensity when they played the Chargers, the playoff games and stuff like that? Like, he puts his money where his mouth is. He's not going to put up with any crap from anybody. This guy digs deep. He loves the game. His passion, it's just one of those things. The Chargers were always flaky, and he's the opposite of flaky. And then I look at the schedule. I'm thinking, I'm with you guys there. Like, I know the Chiefs are superior, but the Chargers, they're a playoff team, don't you think?
They'll be competing for a playoff spot. They're in that mix, right? I think I don't know if they're tier 2. They're like tier 2 B. But as far as McNamara is concerned, he's a serviceable quarterback. Look, Michigan went 12-1 with him, right? They ran, they ran the table. They lost to the Georgia Bulldogs, right? They lost the game that year, and then they made it to the playoff game. They lost, but Harbaugh knew, all right, we need to get a little bit better at the quarterback position. But as you guys know, it's not like blue chip quarterbacks are lining up to go play for the Iowa Hawkeyes offense.
It's true.
Right, so they got a guy in McNamara that's a big-time recruit. He, a guy played in the college football playoffs. He, beat Ohio State with Michigan. People forget that. Like, he was part of a lot of success there, and Michigan kind of threw him under the bus. Like, they went with J.J. McCarthy, and they ended up getting rewarded for it. But the thing is, with Ben, and we all know, bro, Ferentz's kid was, terrible. Like, he makes Nate Hackett look good. Like, they really had a terrible offensive coordinator and a whole system going. Now they actually have, a real coordinator. They put some money into this thing. I actually think Iowa are a good football team, guys. And put it this way. Iowa are always in the mix, and their offense scores 12 points a game, and they still manage to win 9 games a year every year. Iowa, to me, is the same thing.
Bad offense last year. It could only go up, right?
Yeah, I think they'll be good this year. I think they'll be a competitive team, whatever. They'll be who they are, 8-4, 9, let's say 9 wins, looking at their schedule. All right, so on the other side, we'll get into some CFL football. Speaking of Colin Kaepernick, I brought up Kaepernick. Cody Fajardo, of course, replaced Colin Kaepernick. After Kaepernick left Nevada, Cody Fajardo was the next man up. And he actually put sick numbers up at Nevada. And speaking of Nevada, actually, and numbers, people think Nevada could be like arguably the worst team in college football. It's pretty crazy how this program has fallen as quickly as it has. Dude, it wasn't that long ago. Like
walking through that door. Yep.
You're right. And remember before that, it used to be like, man, we got to go to Reno on Saturday night. This is not going to be a fun time. Now, bro, their win total is 2.5. It's 1.5 at some spots. It's 2.5. They're getting 25.5 points in their opener right now against SMU. And Cam, it was like 17.5. By the time we kick off this game, they're going to be laying like 29.5, 30 points. I promise.
I got a question for you guys. More wins, New Mexico or Nevada?
Oh, New Mexico.
I actually think New Mexico with Mendenhall going.
You like three?
Yeah. New Mexico will
they
be
get 3 or 4. Okay, cool. I was going to take the over with them. Yeah, Nevada's bad.
Don't forget with Danny Gonzalez last year, guys. They were competitive in some games. The defense hung in there, and they're just not good enough on the offensive side of the football last year, the Lobos. But I think you bring in Mendenhall. I think the offense has to improve a little bit, and I just think they have the chance to be better than Nevada, quite honestly.
UCLA's introduction at the media day today didn't go so smooth. We'll hit this and more on the other side.
One of the many exciting things about joining Live was being able to come here and play in front of a Spanish crowd, especially on a level of event and level of competition that I hadn't really yet enjoyed, right? I've been able to play events in Spain.
Here in the beautiful Valderrama, which some say is the European Augusta. It's so special. There's so much history here. There's so much Spanish history here.
Well, it has so much history behind. It's only a 50 years old club, but so much has happened through the years. I mean, we had the Ryder Cup, we had World Gold Championships, and now we have Live.
1, 2, 3, 2, 1.
I feel like when it's this windy, this golf course is so difficult that it's equally stressful no matter when or where you're playing it. But it was fun. It's always fun to be back home and be with the home crowd. It's always a joy to have this many people supporting me all day. It's so much fun.
OMG, what did we just witness? Our first ever double playoff in Live Golf history. I am so pumped up right now.
So much happened on the last 5 minutes. I mean, it looked like it was going to the crushers and anybody winning, and all of a sudden then Abraham holding a chip, David Puig birdie eight, then that little putt from Aniban on the last. I mean, it was great watching.
You know, it's really amazing to be able to do it in your home country, in front of my family, in front of so many friends, and on my favorite golf course. So it's obviously super nice.
Can't wait for college football to start. We're going to be in Las Vegas for the USC LSU game. That's going to be awesome. And you know what's crazy? I don't know if I'm starting to overthink things. Yeah, I am overthinking things, which is stupid. But initially, I was like, you know what? I'm going to smash LSU. I'm going to bet the over and, blah, blah, and this is this and that. As the game is approaching, I'm like, you know what? I have completely flipped. I'm like, everyone's going to be on LSU in this game. They're going to think, it's going to be easy. And USC are going to hang like 50 on them or something like that. LSU's defense is terrible.
That defense, you want to lay points? Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, Babano. Like, USC can score. Say what you will about Lincoln Riley. And you know what? It was 66.5. It's 62.5 right now. That's a reasonable number, 62.5. And I'm not alone, guys, because it was 6.5, 7. The number's dropping right now. There's like 6, 5.5. Like, there's been some USC love, because word out of USC camp is they're kind of like a lot better than people outside are giving them credit for coming into this year. I got to be honest. I'm drinking a little bit of USC Kool-Aid right now.
And I'll tell you what, Gabe, about USC, whether it's Miller Moss or Jaden Maiava, Lincoln Riley likes both of those quarterbacks to take the place of Caleb Williams. So I think they're fine there. I think Miller Moss, we saw what he did in the bowl game. They like Maiava as well. We don't know if LSU's defense is going to be a lick better. And don't forget, even though Jaden Daniels is gone for them on offense, Garrett Nussmeier is a veteran quarterback. He knows that system. He played well in the bowl game. He's a very good thrower of the football. I do think there's still a lot of points in that game.
Veteran quarterback, yeah.
Yeah, he's a veteran. I'll tell you one thing about LSU, though. Betting on them week 1 in the college football season is a recipe for death and lost finances. All they do is lose early.
Yeah, you know what? I've talked about this. Well, they lost the last two years in a row to Florida State in the season opener. And both times people thought they were going to win. And people thought, I remember I was there in L.A., the LSU-UCLA game, and LSU fans were shocked. I was in the hotel after. They were like, you would have thought they got robbed. You know what I mean? Like they lost, they got carjacked and stuff. And UCLA beat them. And LSU were same thing. It was like LSU were like 6-7.5 point road favorites against the Bruins, and UCLA punched them in the mouth in the first week. Brian Kelly's one of these coaches, Babano. You know what I mean? Like he's almost, it's like Ryan Day coming into this year. So it's like LSU, okay, you guys boast, we had the 3rd best recruiting class in the country. All right, fine. You also had like the Heisman Trophy winner, and you couldn't win. Like Brian Kelly, like everyone picks on Lincoln Riley. Oh, he doesn't win, but he gets these stats. What about Brian Kelly? Like at what point do they get good again? They used to win before he got there. He hasn't won with them. He's under some pressure this year. They're good. Their defense should be better, but Nussmeier is good. He's a veteran quarterback, but I tell you what, he ain't a top 5 pick in the NFL draft like Jaden Daniels is. So there's a talent drop-off at the quarterback position. I know they're stacked, but like I said, it's going to be a fun football game at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas on September the 1st, 4:30 Vegas time, 7:30 Eastern. It's rapidly approaching, man. The season's coming up. So, all right, so CFL football. Tricky week this week. Injuries are starting to take its toll in the league right now. We got the Montreal Alouettes and the Rough Riders on Thursday Night Football. Former Michigan Wolverine quarterback Shea Patterson and Ole Miss quarterback. He's playing well. People doubted him. I didn't. I've been making money on him. And I thought, it wouldn't be pretty, but he started to get a rhythm going, and he has started to get better and better. Plus, whatever, dude, even when Trevor Harris was starting, all they really do is run these little slants, guys, right? They're very slant. They have like 5 good wide receivers. They just throw everyone running these slants. You can't cover everybody. And they turn these dump-offs into like 37-yard gains all the time. Patterson's good with his legs, but Schaefer Baker's out now even, Babano. So the injuries are starting to take a toll at the wide receiver position even. And the Alouettes, Cody Fajardo, former Nevada Wolfpack quarterback we was talking about, he's out for 6 weeks now. He's on the list. Caleb Evans is playing, but the odds makers haven't flinched, Babano. It's 3.5 points this game.
Tricky game. It really is. Montreal's in a good spot. They're off a bye week. They're off a loss as well against Toronto before the bye. I think you're going to get focus from them. They've given Caleb Evans now a full week of practice. That should help him going into this start. So situationals point to Montreal. It's a good spot for them. But I don't want to lay 3.5 with Caleb Evans and with him at quarterback. I'm just not ready to. And Saskatchewan's 5-1 straight up, 5-1 against the spread. They've been undervalued from day one. I don't want to bet against them when they're catching points. Shea Patterson's been good enough. I do worry about the absences at receiver, but they have Sean Bain Jr. still. And this is Joe kid who has taken the spot of Kean Schaefer Baker. He's been phenomenal for the Riders. Really has stepped up in the absence of Kean Schaefer Baker. So Joe might be a good prop guy tomorrow night for the Riders in that game. At 3.5, I lean Saskatchewan, but don't love it. I would lean under, too, because I think this could be a little bit of a lower-scoring game. I know the Saskatchewan overs have been crazy, but it finally came to an end last week. Might be a little bit more of a struggle to score here.
Ian Cameron, A.K. Babano, joining us. And I tell you what, the Riders are on a 15-2 overrun, but I agree. I think, and I know there was a big underrun last week, 2 weeks ago, all overs, then all unders. But it does feel to me with the quarterback situation, we should mention Willett is out. Yeah. Both teams are just going to be grinding it out. Field goal, get a single. Like, you know what I mean? They're just going to, like, grind it out. And arguably the two best defense. They are the two best defenses in the league.
Scoring defense, 1 and 2 in the CFL.
Yeah, exactly. They're the best defenses. Yeah, the Rough Riders are number one in getting you off the field. Alouettes scoring, like you said. So it should be a defensive battle when you consider the quarterback situation. We'll go under the number there. All right. So the Stampeders and Red Blacks. We should note the two CBS Sports Network games this week are the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and the Argonauts, and the Ticats and the Elks. But for people that want to watch the CFL, just go to their website, or you can download the app, or you're on a computer or whatever. You can watch the games for free. It's called CFL Plus. So just go to their website, and you'll see the links stuff. But CFL Plus has all the games. From CBS Sports Network's been showing like 2 games a week. They'll have the Saturday and Sunday. I personally like the Red Blacks. I know Calgary just coming off the win against the BC Lions, but they were really up for that game. It was the Wally Buono game. They hate the BC Lions. BC had beaten them like 9 of the last 11 times that they had played. They were getting pissed off and sick of losing to the same team, and it showed. Now they're going to the East Coast. They're going to lose. We'll hit it on the other side.
One of the many exciting things about joining Live was being able to come here and play in front of a Spanish crowd, especially on a level of event and level of competition that I hadn't really yet enjoyed, right? I've been able to play events in Spain.
Here in the beautiful Valderrama, which some say is the European Augusta, it's so special. There's so much history here. There's so much Spanish history here.
Well, it has so much history behind. It's only a 50 years old club, but so much has happened through the years. I mean, we had the Ryder Cup, we had World Gold Championships, and now we have Live.
1, 2, 3, 2, 1.
I feel like when there's this wind in this golf course is so difficult that it's equally stressful no matter when or where you're playing it. But it was fun. It's always fun to be back home and be with the home crowd. It's always a joy to have this many people supporting me all day. It's so much fun.
OMG, what did we just witness? Our first ever double playoff in Live Golf history. I am so pumped up right now.
So much happened on the last 5 minutes. I mean, it looked like it was going to the crushers and anybody winning, and all of a sudden then Abraham holding a chip, David Puig birdie eight, then that little putt from Anirban on the last. I mean, it was great watching.
You know, it's really amazing to be able to do it in your home country, in front of my family, in front of so many friends, and on my favorite golf course. So it's obviously super nice.
All right, we're to the home stretch right now. Giants are up 8-2 going into the bottom of the 9th inning at Chavez Ravine. We were just talking about CFL best bets this week. We got a football game tomorrow night. It's a tricky one. I do like the under. I like the Montreal Alouettes. I prefer it on the money line, but it's minus 190. You know, we'll tease this game to the under. I'll post my picks on Twitter. I'll be on with Scott Farrell tomorrow as well. We got a bunch of Olympic picks. Calgary and Ottawa Friday night. I do like the home team. 1-point home underdogs. Saturday night, CBS Sports TV, 7 o'clock Eastern. Winnipeg Blue Bombers and the Toronto Argonauts. This should be a fun football game. And I'm leaning with the Argos. I just don't buy into this Bomber team. It's one of those, they're not very good. At least, the Argos are just battling on a weekly basis. They're in every game they play in. They're not going to win every week, but they're back home. It's hard to trust this Winnipeg Blue Bomber football team right now. And speaking of hard to trust football teams, man, the Edmonton Elks are a train wreck. And I would call him out more, but our boy Rick Saratella is a scout for the team, and he's a guest on the program, so I got to be respectful. They sent me some swag. But this team is bad. Like, they've won like 4 times, man, in like the last 32 games or something.
Rick,
like,
good guy,
Like,
good swag, bad team. yeah, exactly.
Good guys, bad team. Yeah, what do you want me to tell you?
Yeah.
Good guys, bad team. But they got worse last week, not better after they fired the coach. I don't know. They're going to find it. The Ticats are your team, but I'm going to take them. Our screen says 2.5, but I see 3.5 at the books right now.
Yeah.
Give me the Ticats plus 3.5.
Yeah, I think when it opened below a field goal, I would have said definitely not interested. But now at 3.5 in most places, I mean, Hamilton for me, it would have to be. I can't lay more than a field goal with Edmonton, even though, look, there's things to like. Jarius Jackson's going to finally have a full week with the group. They were on a short week when he took over, having to go to Ottawa. That's definitely going to be beneficial for them. But, MBT keeps on flapping his gums about the schedule and how bad it's been for Edmonton. And sometimes you just got to shut up and play. Just get the job done because he didn't play well enough last week in that game against Edmonton. So I like the over. Cam was talking about that off air. I like the over in that Hamilton-Edmonton game. And then Winnipeg-Toronto. Look, Winnipeg's winless on the road. Winnipeg's 0-3 on the road. They have not played well on the road. They haven't scored more than 19 points on the road this year. 3 road games, they haven't cracked 20 points in any road game. Their offense has not worked. Zach Collaros. Look, this is a real concern, and I saw this at Saskatchewan last week with Zach. Zach's arm strength, guys, it's not what it used to be. He's underthrowing. His accuracy's really slipped. That's a concern for me. I like Toronto in a bounce-back spot. They might turn to Nick Arbuckle, too, at quarterback here because Duke's struggled the last few weeks. So I like Toronto here.
Dukes is better than Arbuckle, so I would expect Dukes to be able to fend them. If Arbuckle was good enough, he'd already be starting.
But one thing you'll see, he comes in situations like he has a couple good drives at the end. So like if Duke struggles, then he comes in. That's Arbuckle's game. He can't put 4 quarters together, but he's streaky. He's one of those. You're right, though. He's not that great, but he played well against Hamilton.
And you mentioned Bethel Thompson. I never understood the signing in the first place. Why would you pay somebody like $600,000 a year to be your quarterback when a guy was in the UFL, XFL or whatever, making like $75K? So you're overpaying him, number one. Number two, you're not winning. And he's not great. It's not like all his fault, but you actually have a puncher's shot with Trey Ford, and you saw they put Ford in. I would expect Ford to play a lot more this week as well. And I think eventually, like, it'll be a one-off here with Bethel Thompson. They show, you know what? If you're going to suck, you might as well go with a young
Jones signing, and Jones is gone. So,
yeah, exactly. And you can tell. Yeah. Well, dude, it was the first quarter after a couple of drives they put him in. It was the first time he was in all year. And it just should be noted, they lost 9 games in a row last year to start the season, Edmonton. Then they put Trey Ford in. They won his first start, and he won like 4 of the last 7 games that he played or whatever. And then they turn around and they bring in a new guy and they start off the season 0-6. So what are you doing? Why don't you just play this kid? And he's a hell of a lot cheaper, and he's better. Like, at least he can run around and stuff. He's athletic, but that's what bad franchises do. Not everybody's as prepared as the Cleveland Browns are, in which we showed the video earlier of the Cleveland Browns security practicing, tackling fans who were going to run on the field. Well done, Cleveland. Well done.
Got to be prepared for any situation that arises, and clearly they are.
Especially in Cleveland. Exactly. No, they're putting the work in. Everyone's got to love it.
Yeah.
The Browns almost makes me want to bet on the Browns season win total to the over. I love the preparation of the season. They're thinking about every detail of this team. What about the fans? We're going to run on the field.
Well, Stefanski, is he prepared?
I'm not a big Stefanski guy, but
their security team is strong.
I can live with them, I guess. But